Okay, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. The time is now. Well, I still got like 6 seconds left. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now it's 12:40. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the last chapter of One Piece before Oda goes on break for his upcoming eye surgery for his stigmatism? Astigmatism or whatever it's called. He's going on break for his eye surgery. But we got one last chapter before we go on break for a full month. So let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here. Welcome back to yet another live reaction of the newest chapter of One Piece. Like I said, this is going to be the last chapter we get before Oda goes on break. Last chapter we got, M confronted Cobra, told him about different information, such as Queen Lily. We found out that Queen Lily of Alabasta, is actually a D, and therefore those in her lineage are known as Ds as well, including Cobra and Vivi. So Vivi falls into the name of D, just like Luffy and certain members of certain characters in the story. Also, we find out that M and the Gorosei are not entirely pure human, because M was capable of transforming it into a creature when Sabo showed up and tried to incinerate all of them. And M just ate his fire after turning into some large, gigantic creature. And in the distance, we see that the Gorosei have apparently turned into some weird creatures as well, but we don't know what they are. But we do know that the Gorosei are not just regular humans. They are possible devil fruit users, but we don't know what type. So hopefully we get to find out in the last chapter we'll get for a month. Chapter 1086! Ooh, this is a beautiful color page. It shows all the Straw Hats just messing around in the rain. Based on a reader request, Chopper and a cat crossing a rainbow reflected in a puddle by Crazy Downy. And we get the whole, well, we don't get everyone, because the people who are missing from the Straw Hat Cruise right now are Zoro and Jinbei. Because we just got Luffy, Nami, Sanji, Frankie, Usopp, Robin, Brook, and Chopper, but Zoro and Jinbei are strangely absent from this. Chapter 1. Oh, no! Oh, the title! Yo! Chapter 1086, The Five Elders! Why are we getting a chapter specifically called The Five Elders? The Five Elders? What? Stop. Chapter 1086, The Five Elders. And so, the reverie came to a close, with the truth of King Cobra's murder kept under wraps. And then it cuts to Igaram as he's making his way around going, "Tell me, have you seen this girl? Has anyone seen Princess Vivi of Alabasta?" And it cuts to Chaka, who's like, trying to find out where the king is, because remember, Chaka and Pell were retaining him and they left him alone, but he hasn't been seen since. So the people that arrived from Alabasta, they know something is up. But Chaka goes, "Where's the king? He is ill and needs help." While on the ships taking the various royals home, a number of stowaways kept their heads low, including Wapol and Vivi.
Hey, which country's ship is this?
It belongs to the Aegis Kingdom.
It's Aegis' ship. It's Aegis' ship, Morgans.
It's Aegis' ship, Morgans.
Got it. We'll bring the office to the ship under the guise of reporting, and you need to slip under their noses to hop on board.
I appreciate this.
It's
Wapol talking to Morgans.
It's Aegis' ship, Morgans. Got it. We'll bring the office to the ship under the guise of reporting, and you need to slip under their noses to hop on board. I appreciate this. Hey, you're a king fleeing for his life. That's big news. I can't wait to dig into this.
Then it cuts to Vivi.
Well, what did you see, Wapol?
I can't say. Least of all to you. Go back to your own ship. I can't. Those people were CP0. If I go back to join the others, they'll just abduct me again.
Let me use that transponder snail. I need to get in touch with my father. He's a worrywart.
Don't! Trust me, that's the last thing you want to do.
Why do you say that?
And then it cuts to Then it cuts to CP0 making their way around Marijois and all the ships trying to find out where Sabo and Vivi are. And it looks like Stelly. That looks like Stelly who's kind of, getting awestruck, love-struck by seeing Vivi's face, while the big dude, the dude from Dressrosa, the big dude with the big fan head, because he wasn't in Wano, that was another dude, but the same dude that we saw in Dressrosa back then, he's holding up a picture of Vivi, and then Spandam is out there trying to find Sabo, and then we got Jewelry Bonnie.
I'm so hungry.
Tajin Kingdom ship in the ship's hold, that's where Bonnie is. And then we got Sabo. Once I get to Lelouja, things should work out. Lelouja Kingdom ship, Bilge. Now, he's in the bilge of the ship, but we know what happens to Lelouja. I'm counting on you, Sabo. As it cuts to Sabo, this man is heavily damaged. Whatever Im did to Sabo, he's heavily damaged. It almost reminds me of how heavily damaged Jesus Burgess was when Sabo almost pretty much one-shot him. Sabo's in that same state, and he's also stowing away on the ship too. So it's kind of a weird juxtaposition all that time from Dressrosa, and now Sabo's the one who's heavily damaged inside of a ship, sailing to hidden in a ship, sailing away trying to get to his people, just like Burgess was. But it cuts back to Cobra going, I'm counting on you, Sabo. You must survive. And then Sabo starts tearing up over what Cobra said. Oh, here we go. Very soon. I'm sorry, I saw the Godosei in one panel and I'm like, Lord Jesus, this is going to be that chapter. Oh my goodness. Very soon, the news came out of the assassination of King Cobra of Alabasta and the disappearance of his daughter, Princess Vivi. Sacred Marijois! And that Sabo fellow, another man who bears a checkered fate. No one has led a life more affected by the D. But I'd really like to be finished with this egghead business. Oh, that's Jake Garcia! And then we get the Dendemushi. Gotcha. What is it, Great Emu? Great Im. What is it, oh Great Im? I wish to use... Chamber of Flowers, Pangaea Castle. I wish to use Vegapunk's creation, the Mother Frame. What is the Mother Frame? That better not be the thing that destroyed Lelouja. That better not be the thing that destroyed Lelouja. The Mother Frame? Vegapunk's creation, the Mother Frame. Indeed, we will not know if it is real until it is tested. Perhaps the results of such a test might influence our handling of the egghead matter. A test on forested land would do better than open sea. Lelouja. Yo, it is! It is! The Mother Frame is what destroyed the Lelouja Kingdom. We're about to find out what it is, and it's something that Vegapunk created. Vegapunk, you smart idiot! You gave them planetary devastation! You gave them Chibaku Tensei! No! A test on forested land would do better than open sea. Lelouja Kingdom. There are many people there. It is no matter. Yo! M is so indifferent to the lives of people. He's so indifferent to the lives of people. There's a whole nation there with people, and he doesn't care if they all die. There are many people there. It is no matter. Very well. The world is as the Creator wills it. The world is as the Creator wills it? What? And then the youngest member of the Godosei goes, Why do you choose Lelouja? It is close. In close? Ah! Yo! And M just says the reason why Leluja is the target is because it's close by. But why do you choose Leluja? It is close. Indeed. And then it shows the Leluja kingdom being destroyed. And then, this is by far one of the most important chapters of One Piece because we get the names of all the Gorosei! We get the first one we know the name of. We shall take the necessary steps to make it so. 5 elders, Godhead of Science and Defense, Saint J. Garcia Saturn. There are signs of rebellion in Leluja's populace. 5 elders, Godhead of Environment, Saint Marcus Mars. Y'all were right. They were all going to be named after planets. Y'all were right. 5 elders, Godhead of Environment, Saint Marcus Mars.
It may serve as an example to others.
5 elders, Godhead of Justice, Saint Topman Warcury. Like Mercury, but Warcury. Saint Topman Warcury. And if we could use its power freely. 5 elders, Godhead of Finance, Saint Ethan, Baron V, and Suju. What? How do you say this? Noose Judo. Like Venus. Saint Ethan, Baron V, Nusjudo. V is just like the initial V. Saint Ethan, Baron Venus Judo. And then we got the youngest member. Then we can bring this ancient battle to its conclusion. 5 elders, Godhead of Agriculture, Saint Shepherd Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter. The 5 heavenly bodies of the world government, ladies and gentlemen. This is as big as the ultimate chapter where we got the bounties of all the Yonko and found out about the Rocks Pirates. Now we have a name to fit every single one of the Gorosei. A Godhead of Science and Defense. Godhead of Environment, Godhead of Justice, Godhead of Finance, Godhead of Agriculture. We're only on pages 8 through 9, and we get the names of all of them. And then M says, there is one other thing. Yes? I desire Vivi. Why does he want Vivi? Ah! It will be done. The Navy! Rebellion in Taijin and Aegis! The Navy was stretched thin between the end of the 7 warlords and quelling the sudden uprisings in member countries of the government. However, this was only the start of a new Navy campaign. Send out the Seraphim!
Crocodile appears in empty bluffs.
And as they're saying this, we got Navy soldiers shipping out. And then we see the rest of the Seraphim. All of the warlords were cloned because we get Seraphim Doflamingo, we get Seraphim Gecko Moria, and we get Seraphim Crocodile. All of them were cloned! I feel hot. Y'all okay? Y'all feel hot? I feel hot. I feel hot. I'm trying to process everything. Not only do we get the names of all the Gorosei, but we finally see the Seraphim versions of previous warlords. We got Seraphim Doflamingo, Seraphim Don Quixote Doflamingo. Then we got Seraphim Gecko Moria. And then we got Seraphim Crocodile. I didn't do the laugh for Doflamingo. We got the Seraphim of those 3. Lord Jesus, why would you? Why Oda? I said that Oda is probably going to release a bombshell chapter before he goes on this month-long break for his surgery. And it's already that. But going back to it, Going back to it, we are done with the flashback. And then we got Sabo going, the moment we landed in Lelusia, the people were ready. They took King Seki and Princess Komane prisoner, or Princess Komane prisoner, and welcomed me with open arms when I emerged from hiding. That was the first time I saw the news in the paper and learned that I was accused of regicide. They treated me as a hero and thought I wished to tell them the truth of what happened. I just couldn't do it, not when their revolutionary passion was so strong. Thanks to Betty and the others, Lelusia was full of motivated people, including Moda, who we just recently seen in the cover story of Ace Searching for Blackbeard in Volume 30. Thanks to Betty and the others, Lelusia was full of motivated people who wanted to join the Revolutionary Army. Those are the ones I brought back with me. I couldn't get a jamming transponder snail, which is why I couldn't send a signal back home, so the message I did send was a relay call as we were leaving port. If the government picked up the signal, they'd assume I was on Lelusia, but in fact I was already at sea with our hopeful recruits. And then we get Ivankov. And it was then, while on the call, that the vanishing of Lelusia happened, I presume? Yes, it was a horrible scene on the ship. Most of those people left families behind, and they saw their home destroyed before their eyes. It's a harrowing thing. What in the world happened? A great shadow covered the entire sky, and in the very next moment, a great shadow. Something that no natural living creature could explain. Some dark, vast thing flew above the clouds. Sabo, you said the name Im earlier. That's right. Well, this is going to sound very strange, but among the first 20 who created the world 800 years ago, there was a monarch named... What? We get his whole name? We get his whole name? We get his whole name? We get his whole name! What? Stop for Oda. I can't take it. I can't take it. I'm getting hot. Oh Lord, why? Why? Well, this is going to sound very strange, but among the first 20 who created the world 800 years ago, there was a monarch named Saint Imu of the Nerona dynasty. Look at this. It said that the means to create everlasting life exists in this world. Well, someone had to have proved it, Please tell me that our assumptions of Im-sama having the eternal youth surgery done on him so he could basically live forever, is that real? Is that real? Is it real? Well, someone had to have proved it, Someone out there has been living for ages and ages without dying? Then you're saying that's who I saw in there? Maybe it's just maybe the name is just a coincidence. But if the 5 elders are the greatest authority among the celestial dragons, so-called descendants of the gods, who else could possibly lord it over men like them? And there's one more wild leap in this story, boy. If this thing you saw fly over the clouds and destroy an entire nation was a government weapon, then only Vegapunk could have created it. Hold on, Eva. Vegapunk would not build such an obvious tool of murder. Right? But what if it were an ancient weapon? That's what we've been saying. That's what I've been saying. That's what everyone's been saying. What if what they're using is an ancient weapon and Vegapunk got it to work? But what if it were an ancient weapon? And if Imu were alive since ancient times, it all links up. Robin told us that the ancient weapons are real. But if the government is in possession of a weapon, why have they not used it before? And why use it now? In the present day, in Sacred Marijois, a single celestial dragon had just been executed. We got our first celestial dragon death. Wait a minute. What? In the present day, in Sacred Marijois, a single celestial dragon had just been executed. We have no food, no bread, only cake to eat. But this was not news meant for the world to hear. The man who passed the sentence was once the ruler of a place called... Oh my God! What? 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 The man who passed the sentence was once the ruler of a place called God Valley. What? I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. That's it. That's it. The chapter's not over, but I can't take anymore. I can't take anymore. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I can't do this. I can't do this. There's so much happening in this chapter. I can't sit down anymore. All right? I'm taking a knee. I'm right here. I can't sit down. I can't sit down. This is ridiculous. The man who passed the sentence was once the ruler of a place called God Valley. Today, he is the supreme commander of the Holy Knights. His name is Saint Figurland Garling. And this dude is like an old dude. This old dude whose head is just shaped, his hair is shaped, crescent shaped, like a crescent moon. It's out to the sides, and his hair has a long crest that curves and a beard that crests under to make it look like a moon. The man he had executed for protecting the fishman was Saint Don Quixote Miasgard. And then we end the chapter because this dude has a sword right next to him as we have other celestial dragons behind him cheering for him executing Miasgard. And it shows Miasgard on like a weird world government crucifixion cross as he ends this chapter going, Stand up for subhuman scum, and you sink even lower. That's the end of the chapter. We got of all the people to introduce, we get the supreme commander of the Holy Knights. We were wondering when they were going to show up, and the head honcho over them is the one who shows up first and kills Miasgard. This is our first celestial dragon death in the series. The chapter's over, and now we're on break. I can't take this. I can't take this. I can't take this. I cannot take this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. But what if that weapon was created by the Vegapunk trader? That's entirely possible. Hold on. Let me just Lord. What a Sunday. I wonder how Jujutsu is going to stand up to this, but I don't know if the newest Jujutsu chapter will. I'm sorry, but not only do we get the full name of Imu, we get the full names of all the Gorosei members. We get the knowledge that apparently this big giant structure that's capable of destroying entire nations is also called the Mother Frame. M desires Vivi. We learned that the name of M is the name of an individual who helped one of the first 20 that basically created the world government itself 800 years ago. Saint Imu of the Norano dynasty. What in the actual heck is going on in this chapter? Let me see what you have said. Warcury, a mix of war and Mercury, can also sound like Valkyrie due to the double R-L sound in Japanese. Hey Neil, did you change your thumbnail? It's no longer just an N now. You got like a brand new profile picture. Looks cool. And W's and V's are similar in Germanic languages. Wonder if that's a purposeful pun. It would be, because Oda does like his wordplay. Wordplay is fun, and Oda loves his puns. He took 11 years to pay off a Gaiman and Sarfunkel like Simon and Garfunkel, literally. I hope they didn't clone Buggy. It's not good to clone trash. Seraphim Gecko Moria is the first competent Moria. S Lizard or S Bat. Well, we got S Crocodile, so it's not going to be too much of a name change. But what about Doflamingo? S Flamingo? S Flamingo? I want to clone Buggy. A competent S clown would be so insulting to Buggy, and his men wouldn't be surprised that Buggy's clone is that powerful. Who does new guy taking Kyushu live? Where is Kyushu? Let's see. How did Emu, as one of the 20 monarchs, finesse the other 19 monarchs and somehow become king of the world? Your mad scientist D&D character? Nice. This chapter was bananas. Ozzy. I knew that Oda was going to leave us with something substantial. Let me pull my chair back so I can sit down in it, so I can look at you guys. So I can look at you. Y'all, this chapter had me screaming. I was screaming. I gotta see everyone else's reaction. I gotta see Roger. I gotta see everyone's reaction to this amount of information. Did he get Pillow-kun? Did he get his pillow? Did he jump up? Oh my goodness. This is something monumental. Okay? This is monumental. Now let's pull up this chapter. And here's the thing. Here's the beautiful thing. I didn't see any spoilers for this chapter, which makes it so good. I didn't see anything for this chapter. And I'm finally able to look at all this cool stuff that just happened. Hold on, let me see. So the question is, who performed the immortality surgery on Im-sama? I mean, we've known this for a while, and it's pretty obvious. In order for people to realize that you can gain immortality from a devil fruit, it has to be performed on someone. So who better to have an example of that than the person who's ruling the world right now? So let's go through the long summary of everything. The reverie concludes before news of Nefertari Cobra's death was announced. Both his and Vivi's sudden disappearance prompted Igaram, Chaka, and Pell to search everywhere for them. Unbeknownst to both of them, Vivi and Wapol had stowed away on a ship leading to the Aegis Kingdom. Wapol contacts Morgans, asking him to pick the both of them up, which he agrees due to Wapol telling Morgans that he was now the subject of a manhunt after what he just witnessed in the empty throne room. Vivi asks him what exactly he saw there, but he refuses to divulge that information, instead telling her to leave him alone and to go back to her own ship. Vivi refuses, as she understands how dangerously persistent CP0 will be in recapturing her, regardless of how much protection she has. She asks Wapol for the Dendenmushi he used to contact Morgans so she can notify her father, but he refuses in a panic and demands she get lost, which just confuses her even more. Jewelry Bonnie, meanwhile, had snuck aboard a ship heading for Tajin Kingdom, while an injured Sabo hitched a ride on a ship for Lelouja Kingdom. Once the story started spreading about what happened, the five elders discussed what to do with Sabo now that he knows the truth about the empty throne, as they also wanted to deal with the egghead issue. Just then, Imu contacts the five of them and tells them that the time has come to use one of Dr. Vegapunk's inventions, the mother... Wait a minute. Did I read that wrong? Hold on. Okay, so it says the mother frame, but on the wiki it says the mother flame. The mother frame or the mother flame? Mother flame kind of fits when you think about it. Overwhelming power that can eradicate whatever. So it might be the mother flame. To use one of Dr. Vegapunk's inventions, the Mother Flame. The elders agree that it is time to test its capabilities, with Egghead potentially considering changing its response depending on the outcome. As they decide to pick a forest area for a testing ground, Imu simply says they want the testing site to be Lelouja Kingdom due to its close proximity, regardless of the people living on the island. The five elders comply with Imu's orders as their names and titles are revealed. The warrior god of science and defense, Godhead, science and defense, St. J. Garcia Saturn, agrees to make the preparations and asks for Imu for their patience. The warrior god of the environment, St. Marcus Mars, notes that Lelouja citizens had been showing sparks of rebellion lately, so he's indifferent to their lives. The warrior god of justice, Saint Topman Warcury, saying destroying the kingdom will be making an example out of them. I said this. I said this! I said this ages ago! When Lelusia Kingdom was destroyed, and seeing as how it was one of the kingdoms that was rebelling against the world government, Lelusia Kingdom being destroyed would be seen as an example. You rebel against the world government, we will wipe you and everything you know and love out of existence. I said this. I said this already. And that's exactly what they're doing. The warrior god of finance, Saint Ethan Baron is one word, because it had like a hyphen, so I thought it was separate. But Ethan Baron is one word. Saint Ethan Baron V. Nascido says that they could use this power freely. They could use this power freely one day. So this thing has limitations at the moment, and they want to be able to use it freely. They can't just use it haphazardly. It must take a lot for this thing to even just fire just once. But they can't use it just haphazardly. That might be the reason why they don't use it very often. It could have a long charge-up time. Days, weeks, months even. Years even, for it to be able to have the power to destroy an entire city. It could be so advanced that it requires a long charge period for it to destroy just one island. Because the last time, well, it's just an assumption that God Valley is no longer around, but a lot of us assume that it was wiped off the map with this Mother Flame, or Mother Frame, whichever the correct enunciation is going to be in the future. Warrior God Saint Ethan Baron V. Nascido say that they could use this power freely one day. The warrior god of agriculture, Saint Shepherd Jew Peter, adds that if they can snuff out any protracted conflict. Exactly. If they can get this thing to where they can use it freely, they're going to use it on anything that they deem a threat and just eradicate them completely. The last thing Imu requests of the Five Elders is for them to bring Vivi to them, which they comply with. Following the reverie, Marine Headquarters receives reports that both the Tajin and Aegis kingdoms are rebelling. They spelled Aegis with an A on it instead of an E-I-G-I-S. The Tajin and Aegis kingdoms are rebelling. Between the disbandment of the Seven Warlords of the Sea and the uprisings in world government-affiliated countries, the Marines were plenty busy, even though their military power had shifted in a new direction courtesy of the Seraphim models. Models including versions of Don Quixote do Flamingo, Gecko Moria, and Crocodile. Back in the present, Sabo tells Emporio Ivankov and Monkey D. Dragon that the second he arrived in Lelusia, King Second and Princess Comane were immediately arrested by the people. He himself was welcomed by the people and realized it was because the people believed the story that he had assassinated Cobra. He did want to tell them the truth, but when he saw how the lie fanned the flames of rebellion in the people, he could not bring himself to do it. Because of Bello Betty and the other Revolutionary Army commanders, several of the inspired people chose to join him. He knew that he could not get his hands on an encryption Denden Mushi, so he rerouted his call through the island as he was setting sail, confident the world government would be fooled into thinking he was still on the island, when in reality, he was just within range having set out to sea. Ivankov asked if Lelusia Kingdom's destruction happened during the call, and Sabo confirms, adding that the people from the kingdom became hysterical after losing their families. Sorry if you guys are saying anything and I'm not saying it, I'm going through this whole synopsis. Dragon is filled with disgust that the world government would annihilate an entire kingdom so callously, and asks how they did it. And Sabo reports he saw a large shadow hovering over the kingdom, which Sabo believed was not a living being or a natural disaster, but something flying directly over the clouds. Changing the topics, Ivankov asks about the name Imu and reveals that one of the first 20 was Saint Imu of the Neronov family. Since they know there exists a means to grant someone eternal youth, you know, the Ope Ope no Mi, they suspect it has been used on someone before already, so that person no longer has to worry about dying of old age. Sabo begins to wonder if Imu is this very same Imu Ivankov is talking about, but he says it could just be a coincidence and that person just shares the same name. In the world of One Piece, there is no such thing as a coincidence. At the same time, however, he doubts who else could have the authority to command the Five Elders, the highest of the world nobles. The last thing Ivankov says is that he suspects that the object in the sky was a weapon, and the only one he knows who could make something like that would be Vegapunk. Dragon reminds him that Vegapunk would never create a dedicated killing machine, but Ivankov says he knows this and suspects it is actually one of the ancient weapons. Assuming that Imu has lived since ancient times, he sees a possible connection. Dragon, however, wonders why one would wait until now to use it. And it goes back to my theory. It probably takes a long time and a lot of energy to even power up. Back at Marijois, the world nobles are complaining about their lost food supply. But at the same time, Saint Don Quixote Miosgard has been executed for defending Princess Shirahoshi, and the judge was a man named Saint Figureland Garling, the former king of God Valley and the commander of God's Knights. The fact that they got the former ruler of God Valley, you know, the same God Valley that caused Garp to also be known as the hero of the Marines and caused the disbandment of the Rocks Pirates. We got this man who's the commander of the Holy Knights, and he's already killed. He's executed a celestial dragon. The first celestial dragon death in the series. That's crazy. So here's the thing. Who is this Figureland Garling? Okay, let's see. World Noble of the Figureland family and Supreme Commander of the God's Knights. He was formerly the ruler of God Valley. So let me look into the Figureland family. Oh, this is not the first time we've heard of the Figureland family. They were first mentioned by the elders in One Piece film Red. Non-canically. Because I know someone, who was it that said, like, Shanks' father? But remember, One Piece film Red, come on. I knew it. I knew it was going to break it up as soon as I was speaking. I knew that they was going to break it up as soon as I was in the middle of speaking. It always happens. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're back to normal. One Piece film Red is not canon. So, even if they say stuff in the film, it doesn't mean that it's actually true in the manga. Non-canonically, it's been indicated that Shanks, and through adoption, Uta may be part of this family as well. Notably, Shanks was found on God Valley as an infant during the God Valley incident. Garling was formerly the ruler of God Valley. So, it's assumed from the movie that Shanks is part of this family. But until it's mentioned in the manga, we cannot deem it as such. But okay. Lord Jesus. I knew Oda was going to leave us on a bombshell chapter, but I didn't know that he was going to leave us on one that we're going to have to stew in for a whole month. Oda knows what he was doing. He knows exactly what he was doing. The former ruler of God Valley has appeared. We find out the names of all the elders. We find out the names of Im, and the very heavy indication that he is the first individual to become immortal by the eternal youth surgery from the Ope Ope no Mi. There's just so much to glean from this chapter. This is ridiculous. And then we find out that there's this possibly an ancient weapon that Vegapunk has been able to reactivate and use, and the Gorosei want to one day use this weapon freely? This is insane. I was not expecting a chapter of this caliber. I'm done. Okay. This was a 100. This is as massive as finding out about the name of Luffy's devil fruit. This is as massive as the ultimate chapter. This is massive. This was as big as finding out that there is a ruler of the world through Im-sama when he was first introduced, and the Gorosei kneeled before him. This is big. This is really big news. This is monumental. I can't believe this. I can't believe we're getting this chapter. And then Oda's all like, all right, I'm going on break for a whole month. I was all like, no! Like, only Oda would do this. And yet still no dragon bounty. This was a phenomenal chapter. I don't think there's any other chapter that's dropping today that can top this. I can't. There's no other chapter that's going to top this. I don't think Jujutsu Kaisen's chapter is going to be this big. I don't know. I'm speaking before I even read the chapter, but there ain't no way. Oh, this was such a good chapter. Such a good chapter. Somehow, if the Buggy clone will be competent, I'll laugh. If the Buggy clone will be trash, I will laugh. Win-win. And Im and the Godosei believe that Sabo is dead. The joke is on them. Exactly. They're just operating. And we have to remember that all of these events happened before the Straw Hats even invaded Onigashima, and Im nor the Godosei knew that Luffy is on Egghead. Yes, all these things happened. All these things happened before we even got to the invasion of Onigashima. But overall, I bet Dragon's bounty will be 5 billion or even more. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But overall, this was a fantastic chapter. I gotta look through this chapter again because finding out the names of all the elders, what they lord over, seeing the supreme commander of the Holy Knights show up, and seeing our very first celestial dragon Death, finding out that what this thing called that destroyed Lelouch is called the Mother Flame or Mother Frame, depending on the enunciation. There's just so much information to get from this. And we're stuck with theories for a whole month. For a whole month. Okay. Awesome. Fantastic chapter. 10 out of 10. Would suggest reading again, but I'm done. I gotta drink something before I read the next chapter of Jujutsu. I'm just mentally, I'm doing backflips because this was Lord. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I'm calling it a session with this. I'm done. Ain't no way Oda just keeps doing this. And every time I think that he can't make chapters more awesome, he just does. And this is a man who's preparing to go into eye surgery, which means that his eyes are not in a state where they're at their best, and he's still delivering absolutely god-tier chapters. This man is heaven sent. This man is a blessing to all of us. Good God. I'm done. All I can say at the end of the day before I eventually start Jujutsu after I drink something is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. Let it be known that Oda is a god.